How about the 1971 Chevrolet Corvette Coupe? Black over saddle. And you don't see a lot from that era in black, for whatever reason. There was a year,
That's right.
I think it was it 68 that they didn't make a black Corvette?
It was somewhere
late 60s.
We have whatever. This may be 71,
right?
Because it's in one of the write-ups where the owner painted it black,
right,
when it wasn't available. So this might be it.
This one's got the numbers matching LS5 454 cubic inch V8, which is a beast of a motor. Numbers matching Muncie M20 manual transmission. Brand new suspension, T-tops, rebuilt headlight assemblies, and you think, well, that's an odd thing to talk about. Go get one rebuilt. Don't tell me it's an odd thing to talk about. Trust me.
Find a Corvette where they both work.
Yeah, at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, they tend to have a little lazy eye issue.
That's right. Little issue. So
little issues from time
that's
to
a
time.
major plus to have them rebuilt.
Absolutely, and new weather stripping was another bullet point that we put. That's important because two reasons. Number one, weather stripping is not cheap to do, and it's not easy to do. To get it right.
Yes.
And how many times have we bought weather stripping and put it on the car only to realize that you can't get the window to close, or the door doesn't close properly, or it was a little, it wasn't quite to spec like it should have been. And that happens a lot. So one of the things to watch out for, and you can thank us, via check or credit card or whatever.
It's just amazing that there's all these aftermarket companies that will make it to your car.
Right.
If you want to need it for a 71 Corvette, somebody makes it.
We'll make it. And are they making them to order? Are they bespoke? Are they making them to order?
That's a good
or
question.
are they?
No, I think they got stockpiles of them.
I mean, how much weather stripping for a 71 Corvette do you sell in a year?
OPD.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. How much do you sell in a year?
Right.
10, 100?
And sitting on the shelf, are they just disintegrating, or how do you?
Because rubber is,
it has a lifespan.
It has a lifespan. Other inventory: 57 MG MGA Mark I Roadster, Orient red over black, a beautiful little car.
Yep.
Recent frame-on restoration. 1489cc inline four with a 4-speed manual. It's well sorted, and it's got the tonneau cover and the side curtains. And the tonneau cover's nice to have if you're out on the road or something and get caught in a little inclement weather. It's a little easier to put on than some of the convertible tops. And then the side curtains are nice, again, when you catch a little inclement weather. It's not just spraying in on you through the side curtains. So, and not all the cars had those.
That's right.
I mean, some of them are lost. Some of them are in an attic somewhere, as we talk about, never to be found again. So, if you get a chance, check out that and the Corvette that we talked about on our website, classicautomall.com. Other new arrival, how about the 76 Ford Mustang II Coupe?
Sure, everybody's got to have one of those.
Polar white. Does that make it polarizing?
Polar white. I'm going to make sure you didn't cover this factoid, but Farrah Fawcett's Cobra 2 was polar white base, but it always had the blue stripes.
The blue stripes,
right? But it was polar white as well, so you could actually create a clone if you wanted.
Yeah,
not a Farrah,
a clone of the car that she drove. Right? She was a babe, wasn't she?
She was great.
She was so hot. Mild 302 V8 in it, C4 automatic, Magnum 500 wheels. I love Magnum 500 wheels. I think they're pretty cool.
They are.
And a new fuel tank. You say, well, okay, it's another one of those things. Is it that important? Take a fuel tank. Drain one, take it off, go take it down to whoever cleans them out or does whatever the thing that they do to them, or replace it. It's not as easy as it sounds.
Right.
Yeah.
How many 76 gas tanks are sold for 76 Mustang IIs, so whoever's making those.
20 a year? Is there 20?
Maybe.
No, I think 20 is a push. How would you make any money on that?
Maybe it shares its gas tank with a Pinto or something like that.
Or the Ghia.
Yeah.
Or the not the Ghia, but the
Carmichael?
No. There was a Mustang Ghia, but then wasn't there a Ghia, just a model Ford that was a Ghia, I thought?
Possibly. Podcast at classicautomall.com for information if you have it.
Please, if we could just get a crack team of researchers that work for us and
volunteer for us, is what you meant to say.
Or the one, copped docents, if you will. Yeah. Doesn't that docent mean just free labor?
That's it.
Is that what that word means?
Yes, trained.
Other new arrival, how about the 1935 Ford Model 48 3-window Deluxe Coupe? It's cool. The 3 windows and the 5 windows are really cool from back in the day because they literally had 3 windows. There's 2 side windows and the 1 rear window was a 3-window coupe. 2 side windows, quarter windows, and a rear window was the 5-window coupe. And they're more valuable than the 3-window. They're very desirable by the hot rod guys, especially if it's in a Ford or a Mercury guys as well too. That's pretty interesting car to have those. This one's Cordoba gray over tan, which you call it gray, but it doesn't look gray.
Right, that's what I was looking at it for. It's the kind of greenish gray.
Yeah,
right?
it's grayish, tannish.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
I don't know why they call it gray.
Right, it's more of a tan, like you said. Yeah, exactly.
So 11,265 actual miles.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't know. Is that titled that way, or is it? Did somebody make a mistake, or is it really that low of miles? Because it's been restored.
Right.
Nicely done.
Beautiful. I love with the red accents, the red wheels.
Yeah, I do too.
This one's got a pinstripe, I think, too. Yeah, beautiful car.
A 239 cubic inch flathead V8. It's a hard to find model.
A lot of frogs in here today.
What the heck? Excuse me. Where's that cough button? We can just edit both of those parts out right there. And a 3-speed manual transmission. I mean, how long, the flathead Ford, we talked about last week, went into the 50s, but I mean, think about every flathead Ford built in the 30s. How many of those are still around?
Right.
A lot of them. A lot of them are still out there.
Last.
And they did. If it ran when it parked on a flathead, it usually will, with a little squirt of this and a touch of this and a knock of that, it'll get going again without much trouble. So, but an interesting car, and really a striking car, this 35.
It is a beautiful car, and I'm not a
48.
big, pre-war fan, but that's a nice one.
Other new arrival is the 67 Pontiac GTO Convertible, Signet Gold over black. 3 owners from new. It's got the PHS documentation, which tells you everything that came with the car when it was built new.
Right.
And it's got the correct YS code 400 cubic inch V8. The hood tack, which is so cool.
That is the best.
I love that. And especially because it's got the tack and the 2 hood scoops, right? So.
Yep. It's got the little nose. The nose scoop.
Oh, yeah. The single scoop on that one.
Yep.
Yeah. And the hood tack is. They never really worked very well.
That's apparently right. Or they got foggy or something.
They got foggy or something, but they were really cool. I guess they were mechanical, right? So there was just a cable that ran out there to it, and
I believe
just like a regular tack in the dash. But I'm sure they weren't hermetically sealed.
Right.
So this one's got the Turbo Hydromatic 400, and it comes with the Protecto plate, which is cool because the Protecto plate was a warranty plate that came in your new car warranty little packet. That you got from General Motors products, and it basically would tell you the architecture of the car, the motor, and all that.
Is it metal?
It's metal.
Metal, yeah.
But it was on a piece of paper.
Right.
Glued onto the warranty booklet.
How cool!
And they're very cool, and they will tell you a lot more about the car than just the VIN number. A little bit more specific details on it when you look at that. And a beautiful car. That Signet Gold for a GTO is a great color.
Yeah, and I think if I remember right from the write-up, it was a pretty common color back then as well. Not super rare, but desirable.
A lot of cars were gold. And what we were noticing, we'll get into this a little bit on the next segment, is how many green cars we saw in Greenwich.
Oh, really?
Greenwich, so maybe that. No. That was
Is that the first day that I missed, or the second day?
the second day.
Yeah, the Lotus was green. Well, we can get into it.
Yeah, we will get into that. And then other new arrival, 1960 Ford Thunderbird Convertible. This car is so cool looking. And they're really getting their due.
Yep.
They really are starting to come into their own. And especially this one in red. It's really striking. It's a very elegant looking car. And I used to not give them 2 shakes.
And nobody did. And Haggerty put them on the bull list last year, and they're coming up. So
Yeah,
it is a beautiful car.
And it's Monte Carlo red over red and white. And of course, they were trying to be very European with the Monte Carlo red.
Sure, whatever.
But I love all the names of colors back in the day. They were fantastic names. Like the GTO we talked about, Signet Gold.
Right.
Monte Carlo red. This one's got the 352 cubic inch V8. The Cruise-O-Matic automatic, power drum brakes. It's kind of unusual, isn't it?
Yeah.
Normally you see a power disc brake.
Yeah, I think the Thunderbirds were really ahead of their game, ahead of the curve on a lot of things.
They were fancier than they were given credit for back in the 60s, early 60s, and all the way up through the late 60s. I mean, you could get a Thunderbird with a 428 and then a 429 in like 68, 69. That was a bad boy.
Yeah.
Those cars would go.
Well, even the Baby Birds were fast, right?
Well, if you got the right one.
Right, the right one, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was the D code, which was the 312. There was, the 29. One of them 290, I think. One of them was a 290. Then the 312. Then the 312 dual quad. Then the 312 fuel-y.
Right.
Which fuel-injected cars back in the day were, people didn't know how to deal with them. First of all, you don't pump the gas when you start it, and that confused anybody that had come from a carburetor world.
Yeah, exactly.
Just pumping the crap out of it,
Always,
trying to get it started.
always.
You pump the fuel-injected car, and you'll never get it started because it'll be vapor-locked or whatever. What is vapor-lock anyway?
I don't know.
It's some kind of something.
It's a Ford thing.
Only Fords?
I don't know.
So I was doing a little research of our inventory, and I came across something very funny.
What?
We have in stock at this moment 47 Corvettes, 48 Mustangs, and 49 Camaros.
Wow.
So how is that?
That's pretty wild. That's 150 cars.
That's
About 150 cars.
Pony cars, if you will.
Yeah.
250 Chevrolets in the whole building, 208 Fords, and 52 Pontiacs.
Oh, you didn't do Oldsmobile.
Well,
The most popular car in Classic Auto Mall.
On Talk Tick.
You've been listening to the Classic Auto Mall Show with your host, Stuart Howden.